Welcome to our weekly wisdom this week. Now, today I wanted to talk to you about boundaries. Now, I have been talking about boundaries a fair bit in a lot of my programs lately, and it's because that is a really effective way for us to make sure that we're not leaking our power and our energy all over the place. Now, I know because I've been guilty of that myself very much in the past, and I want to make sure that that's not also happening to you. Now, the big thing with boundaries is it is about our energetic safety and well-being. That's what's at stake here. If we're not looking after our boundaries, if we're giving in, if we're saying yes when we probably shouldn't, or one that's happened to me, a big one that's happened to me, is when I've spent so much time giving away my personal power and having no trust in myself that I end up making decisions that actually disempower me even more. And it ends up in a really bad place. So we don't want you to go there, which is why we are talking about this today. So with this one today, what I'd like you to do is think about how often you shrink yourself to keep the peace. Now, this can be a big one for us, and we don't even always know that we're doing it. Sometimes it can help to actually have an ally, if you like, who can actually help flag when this is happening. And this might happen in our families, with our partner, with our children, with our parents. Oh my God, I do it with my parents all the time because it just feels like it's so much easier, but at the end of the day, that may not necessarily be the case. It can be with our friends. It can be in our workplace. We just need to start becoming more aware of it. And so one of the ways to do that is to actually start with blocking in time where you reflect. So it might be every hour if you're getting started and you know you're doing it a lot, or it might be once or twice a day where you're going, okay, so when did I shrink to keep the peace? I've just had a busy meeting and I really wanted to say something, but I felt shut down. That's going to be one of them. But if we're sort of going, well, actually, that's not how I want to live my life, we can start taking some action. Now, the thing with boundaries is we tend to think of them as they're big walls that we put up and say, no one's coming in. And that's not actually the case. They're actually, I think of it more as they're like a bridge to a higher connection. So once we're more aware of our own values, our personal integrity, what it is that we stand for, what it is that we need in order to feel at our highest self, our best, and therefore we can give more when we're in those spaces. Once we're aware of that, we can actually start having conversations about things that aren't in alignment with that. And that might look like, thank you for thinking of me. I'll have to check what else I've got on because I know I've got some different commitments and I'll get back to you. And that gives us a bit of space. It gives us a chance to get out of that pressure of the moment, particularly when we are very habitual in saying yes to things. Because the other thing I find, if we're not being conscious in terms of our choices in saying yes to things, is we can get really resentful. We get frustrated. We start resenting the other person. And it may or may not actually be their fault. They may actually be saying, is it okay? And we're saying, yes, it's fine, resenting them. And they're like, but I asked you if it was okay. Like I wasn't expecting it. So we need to be really honest because that's how we can build those relationships and make sure that they're stronger and supportive as well for both parties, because it kind of comes and goes both ways. So for this week, apart from checking in and saying, where might I have been shrinking? I want you to think about, where am I prioritizing the comfort of others and their convenience over my own well-being? And are there places where I'm ready to actually start standing up for my own personal values and integrity? Now, you shouldn't feel that you need to earn the right to take up space, because I'm sorry, honey, you are damn amazing as you are, whether you realize that or not. This is about you becoming the person, the woman that you're always meant to be. Now, you might like to get a bit more support in this, in which case, perhaps consider coming along to our Becoming and Belonging Challenge it's going to be a great way to get a couple of tools under your belt, feel connected to some others, ask questions that you might have, and just get that support for you to take that next step.